Okay, so let's talk about horsetails. So here, this is how I put my horse's tail up. It has been up for too long. Honestly, I've really found that about 3 weeks is the max I can do without it starting to break. So this is longer, but I was busy. So we're gonna take it out, wash it, condition it, and I'm gonna show you how I put it up for safekeeping to help your horse grow a luxurious and beautiful tail. Now, so I'm gonna start by taking off the vet wrap. I will unwrap it as much as I can, just keep scissors away, and then whatever I need to cut, I will cut. So I have just started unwrapping it. Oh, there you go. So one cut, that's all I needed. Now, so this is honestly much longer than I would recommend, or that I like to keep my horse's tail up. I found that keeping it up for about 3 weeks is good, where it's protected, and but beyond that, I really do just start getting extra breakage, so I like to take it down. This has been longer than that, so if you notice extra breakage, I was busy, but yeah. So up inside it was braided. You'll notice that as I'm taking her tail out, I am just using my fingers. I am not using a brush. I am not using a comb. I am only using my fingers, and I'm being super gentle. If at some point I was running into a tangle, take less hair. Less, kind of get that dog. Okay, so I'm just going and taking, wow, no big tangles. That's great. So now we've got this, we're gonna go ahead and wash it. If you're wondering about the technique that I use for washing, please watch my video on how to wash your horse's mane. It's the same technique, and it's important so that you don't, lose extra hair unnecessarily and keep your horse's hair as healthy as it can be. Make sure that you really thoroughly saturate the base of the tail at the dock. The dock is that, kind of bony protrusion that the tail hair grows off of. So you want to do that because this is the base of your hair. This is the scalp for your tail, and in order to get that scalp really clean, you start by getting it wet, so then the shampoo can do its job and really lift out the dirt and sweat and debris and all that junk that gets in there. You want to get it super, super wet. And if you've ever washed your tail, you'll know that the outside can be wet and the inside's dry. So get in there and make sure it gets all wet. Okay, this is how much shampoo I'm gonna use. It started out about the size of a quarter, and it's just falling off my hand. So, put it in my jar, little ketchup bottle. This is just a little ketchup bottle. It really helps to use the appropriate amount of product. Not too little, not too much. And I find honestly it's so much easier to apply. don't think I've ever actually seen anybody else do it this way. If you do, good for you. I always see people just going in and it's such a mess. Look at that. Yeah, so mix in the proper amount of products in a little ketchup bottle. You're welcome. So I am, again, not going in circles, not trying to tangle and mat the tail, just going side to side. You like that? Good scratch. And I'm really focusing on getting the scalp here, getting the base of that tail. Hold that hair kind of out to the side. Go in sections because there's no way you could possibly do this all at once. And again, when you're doing this, get this other hair, get it out of the way, because if you're rubbing the hair on top of the scalp, all you're gonna do is you're gonna make one giant knot and it's gonna be messy. So get the hair out to the side, keep yourself to the side for safety. Put shampoo at the base of the tail on that scalp and you're shampooing the scalp. Oh, that must be an itchy spot, huh, mama? Yeah, so I am getting right down. Oh, that is so itchy, huh? Oh, that's a good spot. So yeah, I am just focused on side to side, not circles, because I'm trying very hard not to tangle the hair. And my horse is loving this. As you can see, she's very happy. You very happy horse? Yes. Oh, so happy. Okay, so again, section by section. Hold the hair out of the way so that it doesn't get matted and tangled. And focus on the base, the scalp here. So once you do that, wow, I'm gonna just wipe that off my hands onto her tail. Do not do this. Watch my other video, do not do this. I am just mostly wiping it off her hands. Wiping it off my hands. There we go. Okay. And you saw how much shampoo I used? I did not even use that entire amount. For her whole tail, which is all the way to the ground. So safety first. When you do your horse's tail, just stand off to the side. Just a little thing that keeps it a lot safer. Keep my hand on her so she knows I'm here. Isn't that right? Don't need to startle her. Then, the lighting isn't very good. I did not rub and scrub at the long tail strands themselves, but all of that shampoo is rinsing out through the tail strands, getting all kinds of dirt out. So all the shampoo from the top is washing the rest of the tail. So I'm thoroughly rinsing, lifting up hair and sections to get to the hair and the scalp underneath. Making sure every last bit of shampoo is rinsed out. And then I just carry it all the way to the end. And the hair is coming out clean, the water at the bottom. Anyway, that is clear water coming out the bottom. So, move on to conditioner. Also, look at this. That dog. Are you cutie? Are you cutie? Oh yeah. Are you a good dog? Ooh, you so good. Are you a good girl? So here's her tail after washing it out. You can see it's super clean. Even when you lift up all those hairs on the dock, super clean. Super long, luxurious tail. Those kind of weird short hairs at the top are actually because a year or two ago I thought it would be kind of a fun grooming experiment to clip the sides of her tail. So now they're growing out, and then the main part of her tail is so long. We're not looking at split ends or breakage, just super long, healthy hair. And I cut it off, depending on how I'm feeling, anywhere between her hocks and her fetlocks. But using this method, you can grow your horses out so it drags a foot on the ground or more. Given our athletic adventures, that's not what I'm going for here, but you can do that if you want. Okay, so before I braid it, I finger comb it. I'm not using a comb, I'm not using a brush. I'm literally just using my fingers so that I can be as gentle as I can be. And I'm not running into any tangles. But if I do, then I just take less hair, slow down, and work through it with my fingers. So I'm also checking for dryness because the hair is more likely to break if you put it up while it's still wet. So the biggest pain part of this is just letting the hair totally dry so that up at the base and around the dock that all of that hair is dry. So it's totally dry. I've checked it. Then I go ahead and grab a little dollop of Cowboy Magic. That's the only product I'm going to put on here, just a little bit on my palms, and then run it through her tail. Then I have one of those little black plastic elastics, and what I'm doing is I'm separating out the hair that is going to not go in the braid. So the hair that will stay out. So what I'm doing is I'm looking for the shorter hairs. Every horse's tail will have them, and you get yourself a little bunch. Just separate all of those hairs, use a little hair elastic, and put it up out of the way. Then we're gonna go ahead and braid the tail. So finger combing to make sure that it is totally tangle-free and smooth, and then go ahead and braid. When you braid, I like to sit down on the ground and do it because I found that every single time I try and braid standing up or off to the side, I always mess up the braid and it doesn't come out totally even. So, but if I squat down, then it stays a lot more symmetrical. So go ahead and braid your horse's tail. And where I put my hand through the very top of the braid and push down on it, that's me making sure that there's space in there to fold the braid over itself. So I make sure that it's loose and there's space there. You're gonna need to leave extra space at the very top of the braid where you start because you're gonna wrap the braid and fold it around itself at the end. So make sure that you're very loose at the start of your horse's braid. And just go ahead and braid all the way down to the very end of the tail. When you get down to the very end of the braid, just go ahead and secure it with one of those little elastics. Okay, so see how I'm making a space at the top of the braid where I can put my hand through where the sections of hair would come together? I put my hand through and I wrap the braid through that opening, and I can bring it through once, twice, depends how long your horse's tail is. Once it's through, so I'm bringing it around again, then I'll just put one elastic very gently around all of the braid to keep it in place. So now you can better see what I was talking about with taking the braid through the top of the braid and wrapping it around itself a couple times and using an elastic to secure it in place. Now, take your vet wrap, put it through the top of the braid. Then wrap your vet wrap vertically and bring it back up through the hole. Once you do that, go ahead and wrap it side to side a few times and finish with another vertical pass. Well, there you go. That is how I put my horse's tail up, and you can put it up this way and let it grow as long as you're willing to deal with. So I hope you learned something, and I hope you found this helpful, and wishing you all lots of long tails. So happy trails, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe.